The film begins in March 2020 in a lecture hall in the security apparatus in Egypt. We see the officer Yunus, and he says that the war we are in is a war of technology from the information that we have in front of us. The actions expose them, and Yunus remained like this until the state security apparatus exposed him and decided that they were recruiting Yunus according to their own account. The security apparatus began training him in how to use weapons. And we see Yunus one day when he was working in the security apparatus and he was trying to prevent a group of hackers from penetrating the communication network in the center of Cairo. This group is called the Circle of 10. Their head is Radi al-Husseini. We also learn after that he is registered on the terrorist lists of several countries and that he works for anyone who gives him more money. And we honor Yunus as he is going on a mission to catch these hackers, and they will be based inside an abandoned factory. And Yunus and the rest of the officers entered and were able to control them, and they remained in a big battle until Yunus was able to catch up with me. A person named Radi was one of the terrorists, but Radi was trying to press a button that activated a timer to detonate a bomb, but Yunus ordered the officers to evacuate the place immediately. Yunus al-Dabad in the midst of the explosion. And after 6 years, we see a Libyan officer fleeing from Algeria who was assassinated, and he was hiding in Algeria, and we know that many assassinations of officers took place because of hacking. We see Yunus with his daughter, and she asks him to play with her, and he plays with her until 2 security men come and ask Yunus to come back to work with them again because he has been retired for a long time. So Yunus refuses, but the officers insist on their opinion, so Yunus deceives them and asks the driver who works with him to go in a car. Yunus and his daughter are in another car, so the officers catch up with the driver's car, but they do not find anyone inside the car. And we see al-Husseini while he is in Libya talking to a man about a mission he is required to carry out. And we return to Yunus, while he is talking to his boss, Murad, at work, and tells him that he does not want to return to his job again. But Murad is trying to convince him to return to work, and here we know the reason why Yunus left his job, because 2 years ago, Yunus was sitting with his wife, daughter, father-in-law, and mother-in-law, and suddenly his daughter felt tired, so Yunus, his wife, and daughter went to the hospital, so Yunus discovers that he forgot his wallet. Yunus, at this moment, is satisfied, and he is walking near his house, so Yunus understands that Radi is the reason. But Yunus decides to go back to work to take revenge on Radi. Then we see Yunus receiving his work, and they tell Yunus that a hack happened to them, and Yunus is able to discover the place of the breach, and it will be Bulgaria, so Yunus travels to Bulgaria immediately, and there he meets a person named Assad to make him happy in the mission. And Assad and Yunus started the task to see who would hack their system. We see Assad calling the police and telling them that there is a terrorist attack, so all the people in the place run away quickly, and here Yunus begins to know that the source of the hack is the bank. So Yunus and Assad go to hack the bank's system, and he can hack the system, and he knows that the one who did the hack is a person named Evan, and he takes information from Van, and Yunus monitors him. And when Yunus goes to get my laptop, Evan, he finds a girl who preceded him and took him, and he gets into a fight with her, and suddenly a bright man intervenes on them, so Yunus cooperates with the girl to get rid of them, and in fact they eliminate them. Assad and Bayati come to talk to the girl, and they introduce themselves that she is Syrian and her name is Maya. Assad tries to open the laptop, he finds that the password has changed and that Maya is the one who changed it, so he is forced to cooperate with us. When he opens the laptop, he realizes that Ivan was in contact with a hacker named Brink in Western Sofia. When Yunus goes there, he locks Maya in the room, but as soon as Yunus gets into the car, he is surprised by Maya in front of him, and they go to the place and kill all the guards. As soon as Yunus enters the room, he is surprised that he is standing on a mine, and that Radi is the one who placed the mine for him. At the same time, Yunus talks to Radi through a video call, and Yunus threatens him, but Radi tells him that you are standing on a mine, look at yourself, you are dead, and Radi locks up. But Yunus asks Maya to empty the fire extinguisher on the mine so that it freezes, so it slows down the explosion, and they were able to escape with their lives before the mine exploded. Then we see Yunus while he is in Egypt with a flash drive with all the data on it, and he hands it to someone at the airport. Then we see Murad talking to Yunus and asking him to leave this mission because he was exposed to all the terrorists, but Yunus refuses and asks to complete the mission in order to take revenge on Radi. And we see Murad while he is talking on the mobile phone, and he is asking this person to increase the security staff for Yunus, his daughter, and his wife, and suddenly Murad gets hit by a car. And we go back to the security apparatus, and there they are, or they did not use the flash drive, and they are surprised that they are being hacked, and we see Yunus with his wife and daughter. People with weapons enter them, and Yunus starts beating them one after the other after a battle, and the officers enter and thank Yunus, and tell his wife Yunus that Yunus is a hero and brave, and then Yunus promises his wife and daughter that they will not separate, never do all this to protect them. Then Yunus goes to the security apparatus and learns that they were able to prevent the infiltration process, and we know that Roddy, his gang, killed many officers from Libya because they wanted to reach the bombs planted inside Libya from the era of President Gaddafi. And they can know that the next mission is to kill a Libyan officer who is in Italy. Yunus travels immediately to Italy, where he meets Maya at a party. And then Yunus enters the officer's house, but he does not find him. He is outside, he finds people carrying carpets, so he suspects them, and he walks with them, and he takes pictures of the place where the officer was kidnapped, and a man attacks Yunus, and after a long fight, the man and Yunus fall from the upper floor, and the man dies. Maya takes Yunus to her home and treats his wounds, and we learn from her that her father and brother died during the war in Syria, and that she works with a man named Jawad, who saved the rest of her family. Yunus knows that Roddy is alone in a place called Rolia, and Yunus and Maya try to enter the place, but he is arrested by the men of the subordinates. Lee is satisfied and ties them in chains, and Rady talks to Yunus and Maya and tells him that he does not belong to any country and that he loves money more than anything, and Yunus says he is not satisfied. That he will never leave him, and then Roddy throws Maya and Yunus into the sea, so Bones tries to break the chains. His and then saves Maya, but unfortunately Maya dies. Then Yunus goes to his house and knows the next victim, and the person wears a chain with numbers and a part of a map on it, so he compares it to a chain that was with Roddy, so Yunus began to know that the chain is a map of the location of the weapons and that the rest is one piece. Then Yunus learns from the security apparatus that the leading victim is in Malaysia and his name is Nazir, and there he meets a person who will make him happy. His name is Ali, and Yunus learns from Ali that Nazir is at a party tonight is big, so they go to the party. In the evening, we see Roddy sitting with Nazir and threatening him that he will kill his son if he does not give him the rest of the map that is in Nazir's watch, so Nazir gives him the rest of the map because he is afraid for his son. Roddy tries to escape with his plane from the top of the building, but Yunus prevents him, and a fight ensues between Yunus and Roddy. And they break the sound of the window, and the two of them will be on the edge of a high place, and they will hit each other, and Yunus would fall from that place, but he will be able to save himself and hit Roddy and take him from him for the hour. Finally, Roddy will throw from the top of the building, and Roddy will fall and die, and then the army will kill all the terrorists who are in Libya and they were smuggling missiles. Then we see Yunus sitting in his house and living with his wife and daughter in peace. We return to Yunus while he was speaking in the lecture with which the film began, and we know that Yunus's boss did not die in the accident. It's the end. If you like the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Goodbye.